Hello, beautiful ones. This is Lorelei from the Tightrope to 5D Music Reactions. And if you have no idea what the fifth dimension is or you want to know more about it, stick around for my special 5D message at the end. And take it from someone who's been forged in the fires of painful third dimensional experiences and come out the other side. You don't want to miss my message. Also, today we are looking at Amira Willighagen Ave Maria. Now we're looking at two different videos. If you only find one video in here, that means one of them was blocked and I had to cut it out. Here we go. First one, age 9. Starts it right off the bat. We got to rewind it. Listen to that. Listen to that beautiful sound of that and that beautiful vibrato in there. Doesn't she look like a little angel there? Holy moly. We got to hear that again. But did you see the look on that person? I guess it's one of the judges. Did you see the look on her face? She can't even believe a child is doing this. We got to hear that again, though. Wasn't that gorgeous? Oh, my goodness. Here we go. One more for the Gipper. My goodness, that note, did you hear that note? Holy moly. Let's go back and hear that one more time. By the way, please do like her video later, both of them in the notes. And tell me, did you see that look on her face? Is that astonishing or what? Here we go. That beautiful headdress. Oh. Oh. Now now she's all kid again all of a sudden, right? Do you see that? Like, tell me, comment if you see like the difference between when she sings and then suddenly she's all kid again when she smiles and all that. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm telling you, that is unbelievable. Now, this is the one that I fear might get cut. So if you come in to right hear me saying this right now, it probably did get cut. Okay, dears, let's hear the next one. Here we go. Oh, wait, I heard her brother is playing the violin on this. You have to know that. That's important. So I guess it runs in the family. And let me tell you, I used to play the violin. That is not easy. That is not an easy instrument to perfect. Okay, I do hear a little more timbre to her voice. Do you hear it? Let's go back a little bit. I hear a little bit more bottom. I think that's what it's called. You singers, let me know. There's just a little bit more like, it's a little stronger, a little, let's try it. Oh my goodness, we have to hear that whole thing again. We have to hear that whole thing. That was so beautiful. And yes, I hear like a little more training in her voice, though it was gorgeous the first time. is that a real diamond necklace she's wearing? Holy moly, it is gorgeous. To hear that again. And it's just a little more fluid, just a little more like there's a note in every itsy bitsy space, like every space is filled up. Oh my goodness. There's a sound, I should say, in every space. What's that called, singers out there? When, before there was maybe a tiny little bit of lag, but now she's got every single itsy bitsy space filled up. What's that called? Wait, gotta go back a little bit more. Here we go. My goodness. Oh. Listen to the crowd. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh. How do you go from absolutely perfect to absolutely perfect-er? I don't know how you do it, but she just did it, didn't she? Oh my goodness. Well, I guess that's a testament that if you're a singer, some training does help. I have done very little training, so it probably would be good if I went out and trained a little more. Oh, God bless her beautiful heart. She has a beautiful heart, by the way. I think I told you about her charity, Geluk's Kinder, which she made before she even, it was her very first time she ever made any money from singing. And she started this charity, which means happy children. So she does all this kind of stuff. Now she's the CEO of this Happy Children organization, giving playgrounds and making play areas and giving things for them to do. I think probably musical stuff too. I mean, wow. She says happy children make happy adults, and that's 100% true. By the way, I just heard about a video about that where she sings and tells about the charity and shows what she's doing in the charity. So I'm going to put that video in the notes as well. But, she has a heart of gold. And, well, there's no, what am I going to do? My scale of 1 being very third dimensional, very fear, pain, suffering, and 5 being very fifth dimensional, lifting you up to the heights, joy, bliss, abundance, joy, bliss, harmony, peace, the whole thing. And I have done this 2 or 3 times with her. I cannot help but go a full 5 on this. There's no way to do anything else in any kind of good conscience. Now, if I knew the words, they might pull it back a tiny little bit, but I doubt it much. The only thing that perhaps might have pulled us back is if it's in a negative sense, like religion. Sometimes religious ideas are positive and sometimes they're not so. So I don't know what's in there in terms of that. But just the way it feels, there's just no way for me to go any lower than a 5. And this one, she pulls it out every time. She is doing such high vibrational work. She is looking to lift up our consciousness. She's looking to fill our hearts. And that's what 5D is, by the way. It's completely heart filling. Like we're just operating from the heart. And it's okay to do that because everybody's operating from the heart and nobody's hurting anybody. This one here, I think she's an angel come down to the earth to assist us. I don't see it any other way, honestly. So full on 5 once again, Amira. God bless you. Okay, so oh, by the way, a little bit about me, just in case you want to check about who the heck I am. You know, there is 2 things. There's a video about me on YouTube, very short, but it leads you to a little longer video on my other channel. Then there is also, if you go to the description on YouTube and drop down, you're going to find my Patreon About Lorelei page, and that's a good place to see the gamut of all the things that I'm doing. And so yes, this was so beautiful, so inspiring, and so lovely to see her coming from a place of amazing to amazinger. I mean, how do you do that? Oh my. All right, let's get to my 5D message. How and why do we finally get rid of attachments? Well, let's talk about the why get rid of attachments first. And first of all, what the heck are attachments? So attachments are considered anything that keeps us kind of stuck here in this 3rd dimensional reality. Now, there are many forms of attachments. There are attachments to things, you know, and we like all of our stuff, and she likes that beautiful diamond necklace. I'd like to be attached to that myself, but no, I wouldn't. I'm joking because I don't want to be attached to anything, but I wouldn't mind having it for a while. You know, our cars, our jewelry, our houses, all of this is attachment to stuff. And then there's attachment to people. There's our loved ones, our children, our parents, our sisters and brothers, nieces, nephews, husbands, spouses, you know, the boyfriends, girlfriends, that's attachment to people. And then there is attachment to things that we're attached to that we don't even remember, like we don't even realize, like the things that happen to us, the hard things that happen to us, possibly the traumatic, very painful things that happen to us, or just the difficult things. And we keep and it's always in the back of our brain. We may not ruminate it on it all the time, but it's always coming out as a story, you know, when we're talking to somebody and suddenly tell that story about that terrible thing that happened to you, you know? So, I mean, these are negative attachments. There are also other kinds of attachment to alcohol or drugs or anything, any kind of an addiction is an attachment. And there are positive attachments, like to our loved ones, or, you know, our pictures, having pictures of every little thing that happened. And some of them are wonderful to experience, right? Looking at those pictures and videos and all of that. But the problem is, if we're wanting to move up to the higher dimension, which is even more spectacular than anything we've ever experienced here, if we want to move up there, we need to let go of those attachments for an obvious reason. They'll keep us stuck. They'll disallow us to move up, because when that moment comes and that light comes in and we're like feeling that amazing experience, like we're going to move up, and then we think about, but I don't want to leave behind so-and-so. That can pull us back. And we might not go at that time. Might go later, hopefully, but we need to the best extent possible, if we really want to get to that 5th dimension, which is peace and joy and harmony for everyone, we need to let go of all our attachments, even the good things that we're attached to. Let me tell you a story about attachment and what it's really all about. So I had a lot of painful experience, as you know, as a child. And so I worked on that. And then I eventually, at one point, maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe, got to a course where what was being taught was the Buddha's original method to help people get over their suffering, which is something called the Dhamma. And I got in this silent retreat, which is a 10-day silent retreat, completely free. I highly suggest it. You can find the Vipassana, Vipassana, meditation centers around the world. That's a whole story in itself. But I got there, and I kid you not, we spent the entire first 3 days meditating on our upper lip. What? Now, you would think that's crazy. Isn't that insane? This story is going to relate, I promise you. No, we're meditating on our upper lip, meditating. And suddenly, along about day 3, we're able to see and ascertain that there are all these sensations that we don't even notice happening on our upper lip. There's all these what they call sensations. That's what the gentleman who taught it would call sensations. But it was sensations that we never noticed because we go around through life not noticing our physical sensations. And then expand that over the course of the next many days. We went through every teeny little itsy bitsy part of the body. I got right about here and I had to stop. I was literally stopped. I had to leave the meditation. I couldn't go any further. And it was because there was a blockage there from some violation that had occurred in that general area of my body. And that was a real blockage, right? Now, move down. Okay, I didn't have another full-on blockage, but I felt all the sensations. Now, what I then realized, and what he was saying, is we must let go of those sensations, whether that sensation be a negative sensation in the body or a positive sensation. And you can meditate on really just allowing that sensation to be and not following it like an addiction or not trying to avoid it like something you don't want to have around, okay? And why is that? It's because when you are in that place where you're, reacting to things. You're completely and utterly reacting. But you think you're reacting, for instance, to what someone said to you or what someone did. But you are actually reacting to the body sensations that you have. It's the body sensation that drives one to react in whatever way. So, for an instance, if someone yells at you, yells something at you, right? Okay, so there's a possibility that if you don't have any kinds of triggers or whatever in the conversation or being yelled at or any of that, if you don't have any of those triggers, if you don't have any of those body sensations, for instance, you could just say, oh, I hear you're upset, well, what's going on? Now, that doesn't happen very often in our world, but it is a possibility. So now, when he says whatever he says to you or she or whatever, now comes up a reaction to that negative body sensation. Now, I promise you this is true. These are the kind of attachments, the physical attachments to gunk, to the things that have happened, to the traumas we've had, right? And they're going to get in the way. If that's still in our mind, if it's still even in our body, in our feeling state, it's going to get in the way. Now, how do we get rid of these attachments? I've been doing it for many years, getting rid of those emotional upset kind of attachments or the PTSD that I had many years ago. It's all gone now, right? I've been many, many years at that, okay? And so that's one thing. You can, work with various technologies. You can work with a transformational course like Landmark Forum. You could check that out. Some people could work with me and that kind of thing. Or you could just read books and The Secret and all of that and do whatever work you have to do on letting go of that. Meditation can help you to let go of that. There are certain processes you could do on your own to let go of that and to see what was at the root of it, let go of it. This is typically how human beings have done it. So that's what I'm describing to you. Or you could do something very wonderful in this day and age, is you could just raise your vibration, raise your frequency, raise your vibration, raise your frequency. If a bad thought hits you, then just raise it up again, raise it up again. If another bad thought hits you, raise it up again, raise it up again. You see, we're at an historic time now where we have such wonderful high vibrational divine God energies coming in that it's not so hard to go from upset to back to happy, from sad back to joy, from afraid back to love. It's not as hard as it used to be. We just have to do the things that we need to do that will put us in that space. And we have to stop telling those old stories of the trauma and the drama and all of that. Now, this divine light coming in and coming in and coming in is also helping us in a lot of other ways, because it's helping us to let go of all of our attachments, because we realize now that we are eternal divine souls. There's nothing we have here, be it things or whatever, that we can't just have at the moment, at the blink of an eye, in the higher dimensions when we ever want it. And there's all these people we love here, but there's these so many, 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 many more people we love out in the higher dimensions that we're going to go back to and see. So we may be leaving these folks for a time of a certain space of time until They come back maybe up to the higher dimensions, and then we'll see them again. But we're going to see all this great family up there, and there'll be celebrations and joy and love. And as the light's coming in, we're understanding that, and we're wanting to go back and see our beautiful family, even our loved ones that passed away, because many of them, the higher vibrational ones, the loving ones, the joyful ones, they're already in the higher dimensions. And we just go kind of hang out with them, right? I'm not saying you're going to die, because we're not dying. But they have other forms that they did not have on this planet that they do have in the higher dimensions, and you're going to see them. So the light is flooding in and flooding in and flooding in and flooding in. And now we are beginning to remember that we are divine, eternal souls. We're divine sparks of God. And the more that we remember that we're divine sparks of God, the more we realize that all of this really was just an illusion anyway. I mean, things happened to us and they were painful to the physical person, but they really didn't do any harm to the divine spark of God that we are. There's nothing that can do harm to that. So we can let go of all of those pains and all of those hurts because we're totally fine. Nothing can harm us ever as the divine sparks that we are. So these kind of thoughts, as the light is coming in, these kind of thoughts of the things that happen to us and the pain and all, they're receding to the background. We're actually forgetting that they ever happened. That's a great thing, okay? And they're occurring more like, some long forgotten nightmare. Now, I could tell you the stories of what happened to me, which were pretty horrific by human standards. And I could tell you them right now straight out. I'm not upset because it's like a long forgotten nightmare. It's like that wasn't even real. It did happen in this reality, but in my mind, like I've let it go so much that it wasn't even real in the cosmic sense, in terms of that it had anything to do to harm me, the divine spark of God that I am. It wasn't even real. Okay? It did happen in the material physical world, without a doubt. But it did not harm the spark of God that I am. Nothing can harm the spark of God that you are. So as I say, a lot of this is having to do with the light that's flooding in, that's flooding in, that's flooding in. And that's really what there is to do, is to just allow that light to work on you and just keep raising your vibration, and just remembering too, this is very important, remembering too, as you may go maybe before your loved one does or something like that, the highest form of love is giving a person the freedom to do life their own way. And if their own way is not to go when you go to the fifth dimension, or maybe not even go at all, because maybe they have a lot more lives to experience this third dimensional earth and a lot more learning and whatnot, okay? And yet the best thing for you is to go, okay? Go. And give them the freedom. The highest form of love is to give them the freedom to do it or not do it as they so desire. So, okay, friends, I'm going to send you that wonderful fifth dimensional energy, that peace, that bliss, that joy, that love, that abundance, a perfect, loving detachment that allows you to have the life of your dreams. Namaste. I honor the God in you. How we love you. How we love you. How we love you. How we love